Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back. This is a call to action. Guys, I need your help. We're currently sat on 473 subscribers, which is fantastic. I love you all for the organic growth that we've had, because it means the guys that are here, and girls of course, you like the content, and I love you for that, because this is just a personal outlet for me. No loads, not lots of edits and things, but we will be moving into using Premiere Pro a little bit more, etc. when I've got the time. Something you'll have all noticed is that there's more boxing content on here as of late. That is going to stop on this channel, and the reason for that is myself and the guys over at Punch Out. I've decided to set up the YouTube channel. We're going to use Facebook and YouTube because we need to start bringing in some revenue, and we're going to start developing a website as well. Reason for that, I'll be completely honest with you, we need to raise capital. And why? Because the opportunities that we have are huge. So the Vinapal Joe Hal, who founded Punch Out Boxing back in the day, has so many connections within the boxing game, which essentially, even as a small channel like ours, allows us access to every boxing event across Europe at the moment. And we were starting to push that globally. The problem, it's completely self-funded. Every event I go to, hotels, etc., paid for by myself. Travel paid for by myself, and vice versa with Ra and Vinapal. Whereas you look at the bigger channels, obviously like IFL, Boxing Social, Seconds Out, you know, they're huge, and they've got sponsorships, etc. But even the ones that are smaller than that, so you've got Boxing UK, Sporting Icons, they're all bringing in enough revenue to cover the travel expenses. We just don't have that. But the quality of the content that we're putting out, and I will say this, definitely exceeds some channels and is absolutely up there with some of the bigger channels. We just need some support, and I'm not going to be shy in asking for that. So if you are interested in boxing content, please come over to Punch Out Boxing. Please subscribe. Please just share the content if that's as much you can do. I really appreciate that. You know, I'm not asking for money from anybody. You know, I might set up like a Patreon later down the line, but I'm certainly not doing that at the moment. You know, when we've got the likes of opportunities to go to Mexico to see Canelo, for example, like a £2,000 self-fund for that is a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we just need to get the channel itself in terms of growth aligned with the quality of content that we're putting out, and it's difficult to build on YouTube in a saturated market like that. But when you've already got the in, we just need help with growth. So I really appreciate you listening to the first 3 minutes of this video. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, share it as far and wide as you possibly can. And after this video, if you come over to Newcastle Fans TV after the game, you'll catch us over there giving you a breakdown on what's happened. Hopefully it's a Newcastle United win. Peace. Good morning on this wonderful sunny Sunday. Crisp, blue skies, not too cold to be fair. We're just out walking the pooch, of course. So I thought we'd do a little prediction video, as I've done nothing Newcastle United content related on this channel for the last couple of weeks, as I'm sure many of you've seen. I've been very busy with the boxing, but it is game day. Newcastle United take on Manchester United at St James's Park in a 4:30 kickoff. We owe him one, don't we? 2 games in hand on Tottenham at the moment. A chance to go third if we do beat Man United. It's a big game in terms of our Champions League push towards the back end of the season. How do you guys see it? So I guess the main talking point to begin with is Joelinton starting? And the reason I ask that is, one, the last 2 wins against Nottingham Forest and Wolverhampton Wanderers have been without Joelinton. And I'm not going to read into that, of course, because Joelinton has been fantastic for us for the last 18 months or so. Real turnaround under Eddie Howe, of course, as we all know. Absolute superstar when it comes to Newcastle United right now. But with no clear indication as to whether Alan Saint-Maximin is okay, that there's a potential he at least won't be starting this game today. Anthony Gordon has not been cleared to start, I don't believe, as well. I think Eddie Howe will probably have him from the bench. The one who could potentially start if Joelinton wasn't fully fit Elliot Anderson, who had a fantastic half against Nottingham Forest when he come on for Anand Saint-Maximin, who he played really well, deserved that goal. As we all know, it was an absolute disgraceful decision. Not mattering after Isak dispatched that penalty with ease. I think it could be safe to say that Joelinton would be dropped. Apologies, my microphone has died, so we are reverting back to the iPhone audio. So I do apologise if there's a significant difference in the audio quality. Yeah, as I said, I think there's a significant chance that Joelinton, and we can kind of expect him to drop back into the fold today. And I personally think that that's a big thing. Didn't have his greatest game in the final. One person, however, that I did think had a decent game, and I've been on his case a lot. People that follow me over on Newcastle Fans TV will probably think some of his criticism has been a little bit unjustified, and I accept that. I just get very frustrated with him. I love Maxi, but I get frustrated with him very easily because I just think he's got so much more to offer at times, and it frustrates me when he doesn't. That said, I thought he had an excellent game against Manchester United in the final, or at least he started off very well. Some of you might disagree with that, and that's fine. My comeback would be I was sat quite high up at Wembley, so difficult to see everything at times. But I do think we'll miss him today. Certainly if it is the case that he doesn't end up playing, which, like I said, I think that may well be the case. And honestly, after that game, Eddie Howe and the lads, there was a lot of pundits, a lot of people spoke about that game and thought and said that Newcastle just looked like they didn't go in thinking that they had enough about them to win. And I thought afterwards, at times that felt like a fair point. And in hindsight, you look at that Manchester United side and they were there for the taking. They weren't fantastic. They broke well. We defended sloppily at times. Made some mistakes, of course. You know, giving away that free kick from Bruno out on the left-hand side was sloppy. Could have been avoided, which led to the first goal. But it is what it is. If you take anything from that, it's like we need to get at this side. And Alexander Isak is in form at the moment, and I feel like he's going to be the difference maker. The likes of Sean Longstaff, Jurgen Moraes, of course, Joelinton should he come in, Joe Willock, just all need to continue emulating the form that they've had. I thought it's been a very robust side this season. It's very easy to talk about where I think Newcastle can win. Like I said, defensively we've been solid. Rashford was obviously in high form. I've not watched him as much over the last few weeks, so I don't know if he's continued that form, of course. But like I said, Manchester United, it felt at times that they were starting to pull away from us, but it's certainly there for the taking, because if we win today, we go above them. Albeit on goal difference, but we've played the same amount of games. So it's a very, very poignant fixture today. But we need to stop Casemiro. But then, everything feels a little bit better. Because he's banned, isn't he? Does that mean Newcastle United target Scott McTominay is coming in? Who again, he's actually in fantastic form. If you look at his international form, that is. Interesting. It's going to be an interesting one. Like, he was the difference. He absolutely was the difference, Casemiro, in that game. Hugely so. And without him, I'm even more excited now. Tell me where you think their threats are other than him. Obviously Marcus Rashford, but is he going to get as much service? Are they going to be able to afford to play out wide as much when you're missing someone like Casemiro from the middle to kind of plug that hole? Because I personally, like I said, I think Sean Longstaff's better than Scott McTominay, but we'll certainly find out today if he's the replacement. Let me know in the comments, what is your score prediction? I'm going for a tough fought 2-1 win, Newcastle United, to get to third today before Spurs take on Everton, I believe it is tomorrow. We're all Everton, aren't we? But no, it's been your boy Carl. If you like what we see, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you over on Newcastle Fans TV after the game.